All right, we're prepping up to glue the second layer of planking down on the transom right here. And been quite a few details you have to go through here to do the good job, you know. We're going to fasten it down with regular construction screws, actually, until the glue dries, and then back those out. And there's a possibility only that I'm going to put a third layer of planking on this eventually, but not right away. So, you know, this next layer is going to be fastened down. The fastenings are going to be removed, so it's going to be only glued to the first layer. So that's what we're up to. And I've got it all laid out. I'm just about ready to start spreading the glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread some glue on the back side of this plank here, and that's going to go down there like that. But I'm going to take and spread glue on this surface right here with a tooth trowel so that we know exactly how much we're going to get on there. And then, like I say, spread some glue on that, flip it over, and fasten it down. So we're going to mix glue, and this glue is a 2-to-1 mix, so we're on a 2-to-1 scale right here. We're going to use the calibrations on the pots right here in order to get the right amount of glue. So, and we're not going to do it by weight. We're going to do it by volume, actually, and this is how we're going to measure the volume. It's already been measured out for us. So 2-to-1, we're going to fill it up to the 3 right here with glue, and then we're going to fill it up to the 3 right here with hardener on top of it. Slow hardener, yep. I'm going up to the next 3 right there. All right, I've doled out the right amount of glue in the pot right here, and I'm mixing it up. I cut myself some nice little mixing sticks, and I'm going to mix it, and I'm going to mix it like crazy, because the more you mix it, the better it works. And once I got it mixed up the way I want it, and I'm satisfied, then I'm going to add some thickener to it and go apply it. I'm going to paint it on here just like this. All right, I'm going to do 2 boards, so I'm going to do the next one right there. Right there. Why not? Let's put some thickener in it. Well, I've thickened the glue, and what I'm going to do now is spread it out and tooth trowel it so I know how much glue I've got on there, because otherwise you could just spread it, but if you try to spread it to a certain thickness, it's almost impossible. You can spread it out all the way, but you know, I don't want it to be that thin, so we're going to have to use a tooth trowel. So I'm going to dump it right on here, and I have a line here it is. There we go. Right. You put a screw in it right there.
What are you doing?
I'm just putting washers on the screws so I don't have to do it right when I'm putting 2 washers on each screw just so they'll be a little bit stiffer and have less of a chance of leaving an impression of the washer in the wood itself when I back the screw out. So that is fairly important. Otherwise, I'd have to sand out the impressions that the washers give, and it's a complication. It really is. But I think we've got the right thing going on here. All right. And now, let's do this. Just the seam. See what am I going to do here? Put this plank back in there in place again. That's the way that works. Now, you should see the glue come out of there, man. They're all good enough, I guess. Look at that. And glue comes out of there, boy. I want to put them close to the other screws, but not on top of them. Stuff is messy, man. Oops. I'm using some denatured alcohol to just do a little bit of cleanup where the glue squeezed out. I've cleaned some of it off just with a trowel, but I want to wipe it down with some alcohol because I want to lean up against it and I don't want that glue all over me. So I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup.
What's pillowing?
Pillowing is like when it pulls down here and pulls down here and squeezes all the glue towards the middle, right? So then you get an excess amount of glue in the middle right here, and just barely enough to make it work at the framework. So basically, if you put too much glue or it was too thick, you'd have a worse time with pillowing. And actually, I've got little to no pillowing whatsoever, so I'm pretty happy about that, because that was a concern of mine, really. See, that's got a little pillowing to it right there, because this one's way up compared to the one next to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you know it's pillowed up a little bit. Well, believe me, the electric plane will take care of that. So you saw me glue the first 2 planks down. We glued the rest of them down exactly the same way. And then I went ahead with electric plane and touched it up with electric plane. And then I used a hand plane, a number 5 Stanley hand plane, and we used a sander. I have a dust-free sander right here that I've shown you before in a number of videos, but this is a little invention of mine right here. And it is dust-free, and I mean totally dust-free. And not a speck of dust comes out from underneath that thing, does it? No. So we sanded it, and I tell you what, when you feel it, wow, it just feels flat like a sheet of glass. Isn't that nice? It's a simple thing to do, actually, but it's rewarding. It really is. You know, the whole boat's going to be rewarding building it, you know. All right. Well, I want to introduce you to the transom of Orca. This is the transom. We just completed it, basically. You know, it's structurally complete. At least there's some trim that needs to go on it yet. But we've got the lettering cut out in copper, which is a little bit strange, actually, but we like it, and I think it's going to be nice because we wanted to get it so that those black stains would run down from behind the lettering and come down the transom like this, you know, and that would simulate the way the boat originally looked. So that's what we're up to, you know, and it's got 2 layers of cedar planking on it. This is Atlantic white cedar, and you know, the top layer here is quarter sawn, so it's lacking character. It doesn't show like what I would call steeple grain like this here, you know, and it swells and contracts a little bit less than it does if it's slab sawn. So that's what we did, and the second layer is glued down on top of the first layer, and you can see videos of the whole process. There it is right there. You know, we're going to move on to other things. Before I close out today, I want to introduce you to my new help, Scott. Scott's been fantastic already, and I'm looking forward to having him around.
Hello.
There you go. There you go.